Okay, Miriam, let's take a look at Garden Glitter Grace. Here she is. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is check file size. So let's jump into Photoshop. Let's go over to image size. And we can see we're at 8 by 10 at 300 ppi, which is perfect. Very good. As far as the background image goes, I think it works. I do. I think it's a good idea to place her like on this kind of road where she lives, or she lives over here in the garden, or any kind of garden scene or anything. I think would work just fine. But this is pretty good. I like the way the light plays off the wings. The light coming through the trees plays off the wings, and that's pretty cool effect. Visually, I think the piece is working. I think it looks good. Technically, it's not. There are some things that are really pertinent to showing proficiency in Photoshop that we're just not seeing here. And I'll go over each and every one of those. And it's probably something you have heard before, because I know I've mentioned each of these things before. All right, let's start with layer masking. You're not showing any layer masking at all, and that's a big, significant problem. As we can see, you've got your background layer, you've got this, I'm sorry, you got your background, then you've got the place background layer. Looks like you put a brightness contrast layer style on that. Fantastic. Good job there. Then you've got the shadow. Good job there. You got butterfly wings. As we can see, they're brought in without a mask. So everything in this composition has got to be brought in here with a mask. Now, if you're going to duplicate layers like you did with the rose, bring the first one in with the mask, show the mask, okay? Bring the flower in with the background, mask it out, then duplicate, so that I can at least see a mask. Right now, none of these layers have a mask. So this whole thing is built without any masking at all. The whole creature is actually. If we go over here to, I think the most obvious area to go would be, let me find those leaves. Okay, here's the leaves. So yeah, so as we can see, the leaf is brought in without a mask. Then you have these other leaves, and they don't have masks either. Though you're indicating a mask, as we can clearly see as I disable that mask, nothing happens, which means the image doesn't have a background. Another really obvious place to see that is the broom hair. So, of course, we turn the layer off, and there goes the broom hair. But we should be able to disable the mask and have the background appear. If I do that, no background. See? So there's no background involved in any of these images. For this reason, you're going to have to recompose this entire thing showing your masking for your backgrounds. Now, again, as I said, you can take things that you're duplicating, like this rose here, okay, bring the first rose in, mask it out, then duplicate the masked layer to build the crown. Do you see what I'm saying? But I've got to see masking. I'll show you when we come into the phase here. Let's come in here and let's take a look at this layer right here. And we can see that that's called lips. So I'm going to isolate that layer. And these are, it's hard to tell, but these look like regular lips. So these aren't part of a garden. Plus, if we see, no mask, no background. Okay, that's pretty serious. Let me bring the rest of that up here. Okay, and that's pretty serious. I think that's really, really a problem that needs to be rectified before you hand your final in. Finally, let's take a look at okay, let's zoom in here. I want to get a good look at the type. I think the type looks pretty good. The way you have this glowing and everything is glowing, I think really, really works well. Like these flowers glowing like that, it looks really good because of the fact that this sun is just playing off the translucence of the wings of a lot of different areas that are playing off that light. So good job there. I'd like to see that. What is that layer right there? That's a mushroom. Oh, I see what you did. Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to look at Garden Glitter Grace. So let's go back there. Let's jump up to the top here. I'm going to release this clipping mask and see that you have used an image, but the image itself isn't the whole. Okay, so that is odd because we're not seeing that image. This isn't working. The way you have this clipped isn't working. I think it's because of the gradient overlay you have set on this. But this should be clipped to the type layer, meaning that you should be able to see this through the type. And as far as I can see, we are not seeing any image through that type. No, we're not. You have that gradient overlay on that. Okay, so those are the things that I would expect to see in order to show proficiency moving into wrapping this project up. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can probably try to help you. But I can definitely help you. But my main concern is you're not showing proficiency in masking, so that's pretty significant. Okay, any questions? Give me a holler. Thank you very much.